Let me tell you something else that really scares me. This government agency that mandates your safety has done some incredible things since the 70s to help you and I feel and actually be safe in many circumstances. However, it has recently done some things that has me more than just scratching my head. One of these is their new drug screening policy, geared towards a mission of ensuring workers aren't being tested for just any and every accident or injury. Why? Because they're afraid those that use drugs in their personal time might not report an injury out of fear for being tested for something they know to be illegal. So let's break this down. And bring it back full circle. Mr. and Mrs. Employee that uses drugs, allow me to have a frank conversation with you. Because I don't know you, but I care about you. And I care about the potential thousands of U.S. workers and bystanders you will maim or kill as a direct result of your personal habits and as a freedom under these new OSHA standards. You see, you have a choice. Everyone has a choice. You have rights and privileges provided you that allow you the freedom to learn a trade and go make a living to support you and your family. You have a choice to use drugs or abuse alcohol. Everything is available to you, but not everything is legal or beneficial. I think you would agree with me that if you can just set aside your selfish habits and ambitions, I think you could see a lot of truth in that. But we now have an agency that many of us have abdicated our own personal safety to, that is telling the people that employ us that they can't just find out however they choose if their employee is using drugs or alcohol after an incident or injury has taken place. Why? Because of a fear that they might not report an injury, which is based on a fear of being caught doing something they themselves are ashamed and fearful to admit. Because they know what they were told when they were hired. You do drugs or show up intoxicated, you go home. And by the way, please don't come back because your choices are endangering the employees I care about. Some like my own family. So peace out. What we don't seem to see is an odd emphasis on the likely minor injury that isn't being reported. I'm not saying this is 100% right all the time, but let's break this down logically. If an employee gets injured and no one notices their injury, and it's truly something they can hide, does that sound like a serious incident or injury? In some cases, yes, but in most cases, I would argue that is not the case. Now let's compare that to an employee who comes into work after indulging in some illegal drug use and now feels more comfortable to do so because the opportunities to test them are even more restricted. I have to ask you, what is scarier? Having someone try and hide a likely minor injury possibly brought on by drug use, or allowing even one drug-using employee the opportunity to stay and work right next to me at my facility or job site, and who may not be tested until an actual injury or fatality occurs? Shouldn't we welcome every opportunity we have to sniff out these employees and ensure they aren't coming into our workplace like a ticking time bomb for themselves and their teammates? Why are we protecting them? Why are we allowing them out as long as the incident isn't as serious, which basically means it got to the point where someone was already killed, already injured, already dismembered, to find out after the fact that drugs or alcohol abuse were a cause? What am I missing here? Guys and gals, I'm fearful for you all. I implore you to please, please, please stop abdicating your safety to someone else. No government agency and no employer should have to be expected to keep you safe. We need to live in such a way that there's no OSHA and there is no employer seeking to keep your quality of life whole. It needs to be us responding with conviction that our safety is in fact our responsibility. And though we do have these real life supports to aid our safety efforts, we have to be selfish about our safety program and follow these rules, not for compliance sake, but for the quality of life's sake, not taking on the same cultural abdication which exists in so many other areas of our lives. Only you and I can prevent injuries and accidents from happening. It's time to man up and start accepting the responsibilities we have. If you're doing drugs, man up. Stop hiding. Get clean or go somewhere else where you're not going to put yourself or your teammates at risk. Don't find a way to justify what you're doing at the workplace. Take responsibility for your actions and don't rely on an agency to protect you when you know you did the wrong thing. Report your injury and let the chips fall where they may. It's my belief that there are some phenomenal employers out there that may even want to walk with you through the journey of rehabilitation. And if not, that's not their fault. And you simply need to own your mistakes and find a way to get better. Look, I don't know you, but I care about you. I don't know your struggles, but I want you to grow and get better. I don't know what your level of self-worth is, but I want you to care about your quality of life and the value and purpose you're still here on this earth to live out. Keeping yourself safe and taking personal responsibility for your own choices and your own actions is a necessary foundation to grow from. So do you understand now? Safety starts with you.